Namasarvebhyah. Welcome to this session on learning how to use Ashtadhyayi.com effectively and efficiently. Ashtadhyayi.com is a unique online portal that aims at providing a comprehensive study resource for the students of Paninian grammar. Available as a standalone website, an Android app, an iOS app, and also as a web app, this is a must-have resource for anybody and everybody wanting to study Paninian grammar. This is a tutorial on how to use important features of Ashtadhyayi.com. Let us begin. Entire Ashtadhyayi.com is available at your fingertip even when you are not connected to the internet. This is true not just for the mobile apps, but also for the website and the web app. In order to achieve this, when a completely new user launches the website for the first time, they will see this particular dialog enabling offline experience for Ashtadhyayi.com. In less than a minute, this process will complete, and now, except for a handful of data-intensive features, entire content of Ashtadhyayi.com is available on your device without needing to connect to the internet. Let us now actually visit the website and take a look at the home page. The home page shows the prayer on the top and the What's New section on the bottom. More importantly, it will show buttons for accessing very useful features like Sutra Pathaha, Dhatu Pathaha, Shabda Pathaha, and so on. You can also see a menu bar on the top which shows the feedback form. This is the easiest way for all the users to reach out to me. Next to the feedback button, there is a menu button which opens up a right sidebar showing all the features available on Ashtadhyayi.com in a single list. These two buttons, namely the feedback button and the menu button, will always be at the same place, irrespective of whichever page you visit on the website. The first and the most important feature, also the primary reason why this website was created in the first place, is the Sutra Patha. The Sutra Patha shows the list of all 4,000 sutras of Ashtadhyayi, along with their Ashtadhyayi number on the left and the Siddhanta Kaumudi number on the right. Not just that, but the left side menu also allows us to order these sutras in 3 different ways: the default Ashtadhyayi order, or the Siddhanta Kaumudi order, or the alphabetical order, Akaradikramaha. Each of this order has a unique URL associated with it. So you can simply copy the URL and store it if you wish to directly jump to a certain ordering. Then there is a search bar on the top. This is a very friendly tool for searching sutras in multiple ways, like based on the sutra number 6178 giving Echoyavayavaha. You can also type the Siddhanta Kaumudi number of the sutra, Kaumudi Sutra 200 Angasya. The sutras can also be searched based on a word occurring within the sutra, like Surya. As you can see, it also returns matching Vartikas. You can also use a standardized iTrans English spelling like YANACHI, and it will return the sutram Iko Yanachi. Let us enter this sutram Iko Yanachi and see what all it shows. At the top, there is the sutra name with the Ashtadhyayi number on the left and the Siddhanta Kaumudi number on the right. Each of these numbers have arrows around them which will allow you to navigate these commentaries either in the reverse or in the forward direction. Next to the sutra name, we have an audio showing the flawless pronunciation of the sutram, which can be heard by clicking the speaker icon.
Iko Yanachi.
Then we have all sorts of basic information about the sutra, the padacheda, the list of words in the sutra along with their vibhakti and vachana, anuvrittis and adhikaras if any, the anuvritti sahitam sutram, the sutra prakara, either the samya, paribhasha, atidesha or adhikara. This is followed by a detailed sutrartha in simple Sanskrit, which is my own commentary on the sutras, meant to help the students of Paninian grammar in their studies. It is currently available only for 30% of the sutras, but I am actively working on it. As you can see, it is one of the most comprehensive and elaborate commentary, spanning from very basic aspects to even certain advanced aspects of the sutra, and it will show multiple examples, dalakrutyam, detailed prakriyas, various shastra aspects, opinions of various grammarians, and so on. Sometimes it takes around 10 to 12 hours to write the commentary on just one sutram due to this elaborate nature of the commentary. Currently, it is being written only in Sanskrit, but eventually there are plans of translating it into English and Hindi. After the Sutrartha, there is one line English meaning again written by me, which is also in the process of completion. Followed by that, we have the English translation of all the sutras created by Shirish Chandra Basu, popularly known as S.C. Vasu, a Sanskrit scholar of 19th century. This commentary is extremely useful for people who would like to understand basic aspects of a sutra in English without going into too much details. After this, we have all the traditional commentaries of Ashtadhyayi, starting with Kashika, written by Jayaditya and Vamana, and two commentaries on Kashika, Nyasa and Padamanjari. After that, we have Siddhanta Kaumudi, an unparalleled commentary of Ashtadhyayi written by a great scholar Bhattoji Dikshita. Below that are various commentaries of Siddhanta Kaumudi, namely Balamanorama, Tattvabodhini, Praudhamanorama, and Lagushabdendu Shekharaha. Then we have something that is probably closer to many of us, Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, followed by the Sudha Tika of Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi. And towards the end, there is the original Mahabhashyam associated with this sutram, written by none other than Maharshi Patanjali. In all these commentaries, the cross-reference to other sutras is shown using this special anchor symbol. On clicking this anchor symbol, the corresponding sutram, in this example, Tasminniti Nirdishte Purvasya, will open up in the left navigation bar, showing the relative location of this sutram in the context of the current sutram. If you want to visit that sutram, you can either click the sutram in the left menu, or you can click the number written next to the anchor icon. In order to close the left pane and come back to the original sutram, you can click anywhere else. Some of these individual commentaries, namely Kashika, Siddhanta Kaumudi, and Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, also have their dedicated interfaces, especially useful for students who would like to focus only on one commentary and study all the sutras in that commentary. These dedicated interfaces can be accessed under the title of Sutra Patha Vyakhyanani, available in the right side menu. For example, clicking the Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi option will take the user to the entire Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi book, where the sutras can be seen organized into chapters only with their Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi commentary according to the original book. The square-shaped links presented next to these sutras will take the user to the individual sutra page for that sutra in the Laghu Kaumudi order itself, which means you can keep on clicking the right arrows and you will continue to navigate in the Laghu Kaumudi order. Similarly, the square-shaped links present next to the Siddhanta Kaumudi or the Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi name will take you back into the commentary specific portion of the website, where again all the sutras only with the specific commentary will be available. The next important section on the website is Sutra Patha Sadhanani. This includes various auxiliary tools for the Sutra Patha. First of them is Sutra Prabhedaha, showing the division of sutras into various groups: Samnya Sutras, Paribhasha Sutras, Atidesha Sutras, and Adhikara Sutras. Each of these link will show the corresponding sutras in a single order with a little additional information relevant for the context. The menu present on the left side will allow us to switch between the categories. The next Sutra Patha Sadhanam is Ashtadhyayi Shabdanukramaha, or simply put, the word index of Ashtadhyayi, which will allow you to search for all the sutras matching any particular word, say Desha. Clicking this option will return the sutras containing the word Desha in them. Not just that, the Padacheda is also cross-referenced within the same tool. Therefore, clicking on any other word, say Thaka, will reload this tool by showing all the sutras matching the word Thaka, and so on. The third and the probably most important Sutra Patha Sadhanam is Ashtadhyayi Vyakhyananveshanam, a tool that allows us to search for any word across all the commentaries of Ashtadhyayi. For instance, a search for the word Paninehe will return all the matching results across all the commentaries where the word Paninehe is present. This includes even a favorite result of mine, Akumaram Yashaf Paninehe. The left-hand menu shows the list of commentaries being selected, and one has an option to select only a subset of these commentaries in order to focus on the results specific to that commentary. For instance, by selecting only Mahabhashyam, we can filter out the results that contain the word Paninehe extracted only from Mahabhashyam. The next tool is Ashtadhyayi Parayanam, a very useful tool for those who would like to memorize Ashtadhyayi either in parts or in full. The navigation bar on the left will allow the user to directly jump to a certain adhyaya and a pada within that adhyaya. The player available on the top allows the user to customize their goals, like the number of times every sutra must be repeated, whether it should be a single parayanam or a looped parayanam. And if it is a looped parayanam, then what is the location on which the looping should happen? After setting these controls, one can then press this play button and the audio will start obeying the restrictions set by the user.
नाज्झलौ 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 ईदूदे द्विवचनं प्रगृह्यम् ईदूदे द्विवचनं प्रगृह्यम् ईदूदे द्विवचनं प्रगृह्यम्.
The final tool is Vishishta Sutra Kramachayanam, which allows the user to select a specific subset of Ashtadhyayi sutras as given by various books like Madhya Siddhanta Kaumudi, Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, Sara Siddhanta Kaumudi, Parama Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, or Laghu Paniniyam. This is especially useful for people who prefer to study Ashtadhyayi in a stepwise manner by starting with shortest books first. As an example, the Paramalaghu Siddhanta Kaumudi interface is just like the original interface, but it will only list the sutras in the book called Paramalaghu Siddhanta Kaumudi. The menu option on the left will allow the user to reorder these sutras in the Ashtadhyayi order or the alphabetical order. Not just that, on clicking any sutram in this interface, the user is parked in the Paramalaghu Siddhanta Kaumudi order itself, which means navigating using the arrows on the right will help user traverse through the subsequent sutras of Paramalaghu Siddhanta Kaumudi. The same holds true for all other options as well. Let us move on. We also have a bunch of advanced texts on the website which are typically studied at the graduate or the postgraduate level. This includes Praudhamanorama, Laghu Shekharaha, Pradipodyotasahitam Mahabhashyam, Paribhashendushekharah, Vakyapadiyam, and Vaiyakarana Bhushana Saraha. Some of these texts are not yet fully digitized, but the work is in progress. As an example, let us visit Vakyapadiyam, a phenomenal Arthika Grantha composed by Bhartruhari, and we can see the entire text of Vakyapadiyam divided into the three kandas and the samuddeshas therein. The search bar present on the top will also work as expected, and the same is true for all other advanced texts as well. Then we have dedicated sections on Krudanta Prakaranam and Tadhita Prakaranam, which are very useful for students who would like to focus on these specific aspects of Paninian grammar. In Krudanta Prakaranam, we have Krut Pratyayavali, the list of all 140 Krut Pratyayas available in Ashtadhyayi. Selecting a pratyaya will show the list of sutras associated with that pratyaya. Then we have a 12 group classification of Krudanta sutras, very useful for the study of Krudanta Prakaranam. There is also some technical documentation on the method of writing the prakriyas for Krudantas, the Krut Prakriya Vidhi, followed by an automated Prakriya generator, which is still in development but supports a few pratyayas at this stage and shows the Prakriya for a given dhatu and a given pratyaya using machine learning algorithms. Similar tools are also being developed for the Tadhita Prakaranam, Karaka Prakaranam, and Samasa Prakaranam, and they will be soon available in this section. The small section after that, Anya Vyakaranani, shows a non-Paninian grammar called Saraswati Kantabharanam, which was written by Bhojaraja in 11th century. Fun fact, his grammar does not contain a separate Shivasutram called Hayavarat. He combines Hayavarat and Lan into a single Shivasutram called Hayavaralan. Many more such anecdotes and implications of this change can be seen when one studies his grammar in details. The next section, titled as Learning Material, shows Vyakarana Lekhaha, which includes various write-ups that I have created over the years, arranged from the very introductory articles like Introduction to Ashtadhyayi, traversing all the way up to the discussion of complex paribhashas of Paribhashindu Shekhara like Asiddham Bahirangam Antarange. Below the Vyakarana Lekha in the right menu, we have online courses, probably a page familiar with most of you. This is the page that lists all the courses currently available or that were offered on ashtadhyayi.com with a single access course button to access the course. All these courses are free and no payment or no registration is required. Then, towards the end, we have some informative links like About, which tells us the purpose and the goals of this website. The mobile apps link will allow you to download the mobile apps for Android and for iOS. In addition, this small computer-like icon that you can see in the address bar can be used to download a desktop app for the PCs, which also behaves exactly like the website or the other apps. The second button, Dhatu Pathaha, is probably the most popular part of the website. It contains a list of all 2000 dhatus of Paninian grammar, each with a bunch of information like the number of the dhatu on the website, followed by the number of the dhatu in Siddhanta Kaumudi, which should more or less be same as the number of the dhatu in the books like Dhatu Rupa Nandini, Bruhad Dhatu Kusumakara, and so on. Then we have the Aupadeshika form of the dhatu in the grey color and the usable form of the dhatu in the bold red font. The meaning of the dhatu is available in Sanskrit, also in Hindi and in English. This is followed by some very basic information about the dhatu, like the gana, the pada, whether the dhatu is sakarmaka, akarmaka or dvikarmaka, and finally whether the dhatu is set, anit or wet. These dhatus are ordered in the natural order in which they occur in the dhatu patha. But if one is interested, they can also reorder these dhatus in the alphabetical order by clicking the button on the left side of the page. Just like the Sutra Patha, the search box available on the Dhatu Patha is also quite powerful and it can be used in various ways. For example, we can search the verbs based on the dhatu itself, like gama. We can also search the verb forms, like jagama. Yes, you can search absolutely any form across any lakara, whether it be kartari, karmani, sannanta, nijanta, krudanta, everything will work in an instant. Not just that, both of these can be also searched in Roman alphabet. For example, Likhati will return the likha dhatu along with a clear indication that likhati is lat lakara prathama purusha ekavachan in the kartari section. Finally, the dhatus can be searched using their meaning, like gatau in Sanskrit or jana in Hindi or even to go in English. Now, let us spend some time learning about what I call as the most important feature of Ashtadhyayi.com, namely the filters in the Dhatu Patha, which are accessible by clicking the button available on the top left. Every student of Ashtadhyayi invariably faces the situation where they want to select only a subset of dhatus based on various criteria like the last swara, gana, pada, its samyaka letter, and so on. The filters on the website are designed exactly for this use case. As we can see, there are ample filters available in the left menu. The first is the Gana filter. Using the Gana filter, one can selectively see verbs belonging to only a specific set of ganas like Adadi Gana and Tanadi Gana as shown in this example. The cross icon present on the right side can be used to clear the filter and go to the original ordering. The next filter is that of Antargana, which allows the user to select the verbs belonging to a specific Antargana like Kutadi, Jnapadi, Pushadi, Bhidadi, and so on. Let us select the Bhidadi Antargana, which will show the list of all dhatus belonging to the Bhidadi Gana in one place, thereby tremendously increasing our understanding of the sutram Shriddh Bhidadibhyong. Similarly, there are filters for pada, for idagama, for selecting akarmaka versus sakarmaka dhatus, for selecting dhatus having a single swara versus many swaras, for selecting dhatus which are shopadesha, the candidates for dhatvadesha saha, or those which are nopadesha, the candidates for nonaha or upasargada samasepi nopadeshasya. We can also select dhatus based on the itsamyaka letter, extremely useful for properly understanding sutras like Aditascha, idito num dhatoho, shvidito nisthayam, and so on. Not just that, these filters can also be combined with each other to produce some interesting results. For example, all the verbs of Divadigana which are anit and akarmaka can be selected in one list by applying the appropriate filters, also telling us the eventual number of dhatus matching this criteria. A clever combination of these filters in association with the knowledge of the Sutra Patha can work miracles and help us gain very beautiful insights in the Paninian grammar. One of my favorite use cases is that of the sutra Ralo Vyupadha Dhalade Samscha. This sutra says that the verbs that end in the rala pratyahara. So let's stop there and use the filter. The verbs that end in the rala pratyahara and the verbs which have ikara or ukara in the upadha and the verbs which have a hal letter in the beginning. Ralo vyupadhat haladehe samscha. The set ktva pratyaya attached to these verbs is optionally kit, which means there are forms with the guna like lekhitva and without the guna like likhitva. Students always find it hard to think of dhatus that match such a complex criteria. So, this filter can prove to be very useful in such cases to come up with a list of dhatus matching the particular sutram, and just by looking at this list, we now know the list of verbs where the dual ktva forms are seen, like muditva moditva, guditva goditva, yutitva yotitva, likhitva lekhitva, and so on. In the same way, sutras like Adecha Upadesheshiti, Ijadescha Gurumato Nrichaha, Dhatvadeshah Saha, Upasargad Samase Pinopadeshasya, and many others can be understood in a much better way with these filters. Coming back to the filters menu, there are also filters for certain exams, like the list of verbs that you will need to study if you're appearing for the Acharya Setu exam of the Mukta Swadhyaya Pitham. Similarly, the list of verbs prescribed for the Vichakshana level of the Chittur board. If you are interested in adding any other exam related filter over here, you are most welcome to reach out. Then we have the filter for Grantha, which allows us to select verbs discussed in Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi or in Siddhanta Kaumudi, or the verbs which have Patha Bhedas, alternate versions, and so on. Finally, the last filter, miscellaneous, allows us to take a look at all the Gana Sutras of Dhatu Patha in one list. With all this background, let us now go to the individual Dhatu page. For example, Bhu Sattayam. On the top, this page lists the auxiliary information like the Gana, Pada, and so on. and below that there are forms of this dhatu in all the 10 lakaras. These forms are available in the Kartari Prayoga, the Bhava Karma Prayoga, the Sannanta Prayoga, the Nijanta Prayoga, and the Yanganta Prayoga. We also have various Kridanta forms associated with this dhatu. More forms are coming soon. Then we have a very special link on Upasargarthaha, where the changes in the meaning of dhatus when Upasarga is added have been enumerated. Followed by that is an equally interesting section, Prayogaha, which will show the verb forms of this dhatu actually used in the real literary texts. The last tab is that of Info, which shows various supplementary information along with cross-reference of this dhatu in Dhaturupa Nandini or Siddhanta Kaumudi, or even the sutras within Laghu Kaumudi and Siddhanta Kaumudi, where the prakriya of this dhatu has been discussed. For the Kartari Prayogas, the individual verb forms are also clickable, and clicking these forms will return the detailed prakriya of generating these forms starting from the original verb. There is another tab for Prayogaha, which will show the prayogas of this specific form in the literature. This particular feature of Prakriya and Prayoga is available only for the Kartari forms right now, and the support for other forms like Bhava Karma, Sananta, Nijanta, and so on is being added soon. The third button is Shabda Pathaha. This part of the website is relatively new and, to be honest, quite incomplete. But I will just walk you through the current state and the future plans. This is basically the list of words, and as you can see, initial few words have their Sanskrit meaning and English meaning written on the website, but as we scroll down, this meaning is not necessarily available for many others. Currently, this list contains around 470 words, which represents all the words from Siddhanta Kaumudi. But the eventual plan is to add all the words from the Amarakosha to this list. Similar to Dhatu Patha, there is a scope for adding filters to the Shabda Patha. There are only two filters available right now. The Antyavarna filter will allow the user to select the words matching a specific last letter, and the Lingam filter will allow the user to select words matching a specific gender. These two filters together will enable the brave students of Ashtadhyayi to find once for all the Ikaranta Pullinga words of Sanskrit grammar. A few more filters specifically in the context of Subanta Prakriya are also being developed. The search box present on the Shabda Patha currently works only for the words. For example, puppy it does not work for the forms like papibhyam or papibhihi. That will also be changed soon. Clicking on the individual form in the table will also demonstrate the prakriya of deriving that form for many words. Similarly, the vyutpatti for a lot of words is being provided for the benefit of students. As you can see, a lot of work in the Shabda Patha still remains to be done, and there is a lot of scope for volunteering if you are interested. Yet another heavily used and valuable feature demonstrated on the main page is the Koshanveshaha. In simple terms, this is a Sanskrit dictionary. We can use it in two primary ways. First, to search the meanings and synonyms of a given word, and second, to understand the vyutpatti, etymology of a given word. For example, entering a word like hurry will return all the meanings and synonyms of the word hurry: sarpa, siha, Vishnu, Surya, Chandra, and so on, all extracted from Amarakosha. After that, there are results from Shabdakalpadruma and Vachaspatyam, which are useful to understand the etymology, vyutpatti of these words. For instance, we can see here the word Hari is created using the Unadi Pratyaya called in. Down the page, after the Shabdakalpadruma and Vachaspatyam, we also have Apte's dictionary, the Monier-Williams dictionary, and many other Sanskrit English dictionaries, which will allow the user to get a precise English meaning of the Sanskrit word. A unique aspect of this kosha is that it can also be used to do the reverse lookup. That is, to look for a word given the data. For example, in order to find out all the words in Sanskrit language that are created using the asun pratyaya, we can simply type the pratyaya asun in the search box and then go to the reverse lookup. This will return all the words whose description contains asun, thereby enabling us to get the list of asun pratyayanta words like anghas, anas, anehas, andhas, apas, apnas, apsaras, and so on. This is a very powerful mechanism to find words matching a given verb root or a given pratyaya. In the context of kosha, we also have Amara kosha as a separate link containing all the three kandas and all the vargas therein. The words present in these verses are also listed separately below, along with their gender, and are cross-referenced and interlinked with the kosha, which means clicking on any word will take you to the kosha entry of that word. Currently, there is no audio associated with Amarakosha, but that will be added soon. The left-hand menu button in the Amarakosha will allow you to directly jump to an appropriate section within Amarakosha. Let us look at various other tools on the website. These are specifically for the intermediate to advanced students of Paninian grammar. First, we have Shivasutrani, showing the 14 Maheshwara Sutras, each taking to a separate page, having the Kashika commentary on the top, followed by my own commentary on the Shiva Sutras below. Then there is Pratyaharavali, the list of all Pratyaharas used in Panini's system, along with their expansion and a sample example. Then we have Ganapatha, which collects all the ganas referenced in various sutras of Ashtadhyayi in one place. For instance, Sarvadigana from Sarvadini Sarvanamani, Swaradigana from Swaradinipatam Avyayam, and so on. Some of these ganas are Akriti ganas that has been also tagged next to the gana. Then we have Panchapadi Unadipathaha, a collection of various sutras specifically used to find the vyutpatti, etymology of various words. We can use the search bar to locate the words and find out their derivation. For instance, searching for the word Lakshmi gives the sutram Laksher Mut Cha, thereby informing that the word Lakshmi is generated from the Laksha dhatu using the E pratyaya, and a mudagama happens in the process, giving Lakshmi as the pratipadikam. The next tool in the list is Linganushasanam, a collection of sutras that gives the gender of words in Sanskrit. This is a handy reference for cases where we are not sure of the exact gender of the words. For example, in order to find the precise gender of the word shata, 100, we can simply add it to the search box and it will return the sutram Shatayuta Prayutaha Pumsi Cha, along with its commentary Ayam Shataha Idam Shatam, which clarifies beyond doubt that the word Shata can be used in Pullinga as well as Napumsakalinga. The next tool is Paniniya Shiksha, a small book on phonetics containing only 60 verses talking about the Uchcharana Shastra. A simple Sanskrit translation of these verses written by myself is coming soon. The last link is Fit Sutrani, which represents the collection of sutras that determine the Udatta, Anudatta and Swarita Swaras in the pronunciation of words. So that completes the discussion of major aspects of the website. There are a few minor features that I have skipped for now, but you can explore them on your own once you become familiar with the website. Now, before I conclude, there are three things I would like to highlight. First is the YouTube channel of Ashtadhyayi.com. The address is youtube.com/Ashtadhyayi. It is also reachable from the website's home page. This is the place where all the videos associated with the courses on Ashtadhyayi.com will be made available. Those of you who are regular users of the website should subscribe to this so that you would definitely be notified for all the new videos. The second point that I want to talk about is how to help fixing the typing errors on the website. We have a huge amount of content on the website, and it is generated by a combination of scanning, optical character recognition, programming processing, and human data entry. Due to the inherent limitation of these processes, it is obvious that there are quite a few typing errors. Sometimes the verb form might be wrong. Sometimes the sutra commentaries have some mistakes. Sometimes the verb gets incorrectly classified as parasmaipadi instead of atmanepadi, and so on. The good news is that most of the stuff can be fixed online by any knowledgeable person in 2 minutes or less using a laptop or a computer. Let me demonstrate it with an example. Let us go to the Sutra Patha and let us take a look at this sutram, Idude Dvivachanam Pragruhyam. Let us open the Nyasa commentary of this sutra. As soon as we open this commentary, we can see an obvious typing error in front of us. In order to fix this, what we should do is we should click the red pencil icon present in the bottom right corner of that commentary. Each commentary has its own pencil icon, so make sure to click the pencil icon only associated with the commentary that you would like to fix. On clicking this pencil icon, it will take you to a page and will ask you to sign in into GitHub. GitHub is a very popular software system that we will use to edit these commentaries. If you do not have an account on GitHub, there is a link to create an account. It is completely free and it takes only a minute. Once you create the account, you can come back to this page, add your login and password, and click on Sign In. After you click on Sign In, you will see this button, Fork this repository. This button is shown only for the first edit that you will do on ashtadhyayi.com because it needs to do some preparatory work on your behalf. This button won't be shown for your additional edits later on. Let's click this button. All the magic will happen in the background and you will be presented with a text box with the same commentary, and now you can see the problematic word which you can delete and fix on your own. While you're on this page, you may notice additional errors in the commentary, like over here, Dampativa should be a full vakara rather than half vakara. Obviously, this should only be done by the knowledgeable scholars of the field and not by everyone. Once we are happy with these changes, we can scroll down and we can click Propose Changes button. On clicking the Propose Changes button, we need to click two more buttons. There is a Create Pull Request button on the top. Let's click it. Once again, scroll down and there is another Create Pull Request button at the bottom. Let's click it again. By clicking these two Create Pull Request buttons one after the other, your job is done. The changes done by you will now come to me for review. Don't worry, without my approval, nothing is being changed. I will take a look at the changes. If I find them appropriate, I will approve these changes, after which they will be directly pushed to the website and you will be notified over the email. In this way, just with a few clicks, you can help suggest changes, thereby improving the quality of the website to a significant level. This type of red edit button is available not just in the Sutra Patha but also in the Dhatu Patha for all the Dhatu forms. Therefore, if you find a mistake in any of the Dhatu forms, you can click this button. Now this time you do not see the this repository button. You will directly end up on the edit page. You can make required changes and again click on propose changes to send those changes to me for review. This button is not yet available on the Shabda Patha, but I will be soon adding it over there. The third and the final thing that I want to talk about is how to contribute new content to ashtadhyayi.com. In this context, I would like to show the credits page, which lists the names and contributions of our amazing volunteers who have helped in the content creation of the website from time to time. The last line says, "It goes without saying that this website is still work in progress. A lot of things are being worked on and are also planned for the future. For those who are interested in volunteering, here are a few ways to help out. If you're interested in digitizing the scanned books, either using OCR technology or by simply typing out the book, then there are a bunch of important copyright-free books like Prakriya Sarvaswam, Prakriya Kaumudi, Durghatavrutti, and so on. Please reach out via the feedback form on the website and I will share more details about the process. If you're interested in doing grammatical analysis, then you can pick up small stotras like Ramaraksha Stotram, Ganesha Pancharatnam, or even small texts like Ramodantam, Sankshepa Ramayanam, and reach out to agree on certain predefined format. I will upload your final verified work on the website for everyone's benefit with the credits duly mentioned. If you're interested in Sahitya, you can pick up a literary text like Shishupalabadham or Kiratarjuniyam and enumerate all the Tinganta or Kridanta forms in that book, which can then be linked to the Prayoga section of corresponding forms on the website. Finally, if you are an advanced grammar student and interested in core grammar work, then you can help out in creating Pratyaya Kosha, Unadi Kosha, Prakriya generators, or even the pending work of Shabda Patha. It all depends on your interest and your energy level. Please reach out to me with your specific interest via the feedback form and we can discuss further. Of course, it goes without saying that all this work is completely voluntary and it will be added to the open source for everyone's benefit. Ashtadhyayi.com does not pay or employ anyone for any work. And while we are on the topic of payments, let me also clarify that all the services provided by Ashtadhyayi.com are completely free of charge and no registration or payment is ever required. On the same note, Ashtadhyayi.com does not accept any donations for any reason whatsoever. Of course, there are other ways to help out. All that I'm looking for are the passionate students of Vyakarana Shastra like myself and those who want to make this portal a better resource for the students of Paninian grammar. If you think you are one of them, we must collaborate. Please reach out. Finally, I would like to conclude by saying that this effort, even though started by myself, has taken this shape due to the work of many of our amazing volunteers, and this is dedicated purely for the benefit of the grammar community. I feel really blessed to be chosen by the Ishvara for these efforts. Rest assured, I was, I am, and I will always be committed to Ashtadhyayi.com, and this will remain as one of the top priorities for me. I sincerely hope that this portal becomes more and more useful for the students of Paninian grammar. Please subscribe to our channel. Please spread the word and include others as well in this holy journey of enhancing our knowledge of grammar, whose ultimate goal is to reach closer and closer to the Shabda Brahma, only to finally dissolve in that Brahman one fine day. Shabdarnavam samam jnatva Shabdalankritaya gira Shabda Brahma prasadena Tatraivantar layo bhave.